Hello everyone. Welcome to the SCM Community Learning. This is a distinguished community of professionals dedicated to the engagement and mastery of supply chain management skill. So in this channel, we are going to talk about the new technologies of the new strategies for supply chain management. So the first thing we need to do is to try to understand what is supply chain management. SCM is the abbreviation of supply chain management. E is components of supply chain of management purpose. The first definition we can find is that supply chain management of or SCM is the network of supplies that deliver products, finished goods from raw materials to the end customers. That's the first definition, but obviously we have a lot of definition because this strategy have a lot of time in the market. The second definition is the design, planning, execution, control, and monitoring of supply chain activities with the main goal of add value to the customers. The most important thing in this slide is to understand that supply chain management is and exists just for add value to the customers. That's the main goal, that's the purpose, that's the objective, that's the true north. That's all about SCM. On SCM, we have three main entities. The first one is supplier, producer, and customer. Remember, we need to add value to the customer. Entity descriptions. The first one, supplier. What is a supplier? Why we understand what is a supplier? What we need to know about this concept. A supplier is a provider of goods or services, materials, energies, transportation services, or components for use in producing a product or sometimes a service. This last expression is important because CCM is not only for manufacturing process, and we can implement this strategy for services too. So once again, a supplier is a provider of goods or services, materials, energies, and transportation services. The next entity is the producer. The producer receives services, materials, energy, or components to use in creating finished goods or products. That's the manufacturing companies we always see in the market. The last entity and the most important entity on the supply chain is the customer. The customer is the entity who receives shipments of finished products. We have flows on this strategy where to connect the supply chain entities. We need to connect these three entities in a better one, in a new one, and in the main one. How we can do that? Well, we have this drawing for basic flows. Nowadays, the most important thing is to have information flow. Then we need to know where the product is with the product flow. And all is a business, and we need to be pretty sure where the money is with the payment flow. And sometimes, and it's very common in the industry nowadays, the reverse flow, the inverse logistics. About information, we need to know that back and forth along the supply chain. We need to have information from the supplier to the customer back end. About product, we need to know where the physical material from suppliers through the intermediate entities that transfer them into consumable items for the final customer. And the money from the customer back upstream toward the raw material supply. And the river flow, we are talking about refund, replacement, repairs, recycling, manufacturing, resale, or disposal. Fund flows, customer, producer, supplier. Now the drawing is a little bit different because now we start with the customer, producer, at the end is supplier. Because we need to talk about funds flows. When the customer pays our service or product, we need to move them to the supplier. We have some KPIs for SCCM. The most important one is cash to cash cycle time. Cash conversion cycle, also called in the market nowadays. What is that? What is this KPI, cash to cash cycle time? Well, it's the metric of for measuring the efficiency of the flow of funds. It measures how long it takes for an investment of cash into operation to be returned in the form of cash receipts from sales to customers. This is the KPI, cash to cash cycle time. And we will use it a lot in this bootcamp. Remember what is the most important thing for implement SCM in our companies? Yeah, that one. We need to create value. We need to add value to the customer, to the process, to the supplier, to everyone in the huge chain. We need to focus on cost reduction. We need to focus on chain linear, and we need to focus on create value to the stakeholders. The stakeholders, all of these parts of the supply chain that we need to move to create value to the customer. Additional value to this chapter is to give you information about why it's important to implement supply chain management in the better way in your company, in your finished good products company, or in your service company. We have 10 companies around the world that we can try to learn what are they doing nowadays. The first one is Amazon. Knowing for this advanced and efficient supply chain system, integrating warehousing, fulfillment, and distribution. Amazon is the key around the world if you are talking about distribution. That's awesome. The other one is Unilever. This company is installed in 90 countries, and this company is using artificial intelligence. predictive analytics, and blockchain to optimize the supply chain. Tesla sets benchmarks in supply chain management with its innovative logistics and production process. DHL is a global leader in logistics and supply chain management. DHL was uh, almost the first company around the world to try to implement or try to have supply chain management. The next one are Walmart, Apple, Pfizer, Coca-Cola, Samsung, and IBM. The last one provides supply chain management solution through expertise in technology and consulting, obviously. Okay, this is the ECCM timeline, and just to be in the same channel about the SCM in this 2025 year. Ancient times. We are going to start with ancient times. Silk Road, 2nd century before Christ, 15th century after Christ. And it's a network of trade routes connecting the East and West, facilitating the exchange of goods like silk, spices, and gold. Also, supply chain was implemented in military logistics in Greece and Rome, supplying and transporting goods for armies during military campaigns. So, the concept of supply chain it's or is in the market like 30 or 40 years. But if we read the history, we can learn more about these kind of strategies in the past, how they move goods or goals from a country to another country. The first steps of logistics. The next one was in the Industrial Revolution with the railroad and telegraph, improving transportation and communication. Once again, logistics, but in a global trade. Also on mass production. We start with mass production. So we need efficient to more products and leading to the birth of supply chain management concepts. And the 20th century, with the introduction of computing, computers, and software for managing supply chain operation. We have a lot of software. We are going to talk about this software in the following steps, in the following chapters. But nowadays, and this slide, the software is very important for the control of the lean of supply chain. And the last one, the e-commerce. The e-commerce is nowadays the most important logistic around the world. And advanced technologies like artificial intelligence, blockchain, and predictive analytics to optimize supply chain management. So, in this first video, we try to understand the concepts of supply chain management. What is supply chain management? What are the most important entities? What is the stakeholders? What we need to know about money from supplier to the customer and from the customer to the supplier, all these supply chains, how to be disciplined in a very, very lean way, and what are the most important companies around the world. We can learn from them about supply chain. We are going to add more and more and more chart chapters uh, about this new strategy. And please like this video, share this video with your partners in order to start increasing the community learning around the world. The main objective of this channel is to have more and more knowledge about this strategy and share information, share the network contacts, and have try to help the companies in these very difficult times where we need to have a very lean logistics. Thank you so much. Bye.